Well, canned venison doesn't just happen. It starts with a skilled hunter who is able to go out and get the deer. Then he skins it, debones it, and then finally cleans off the excess fats off of the venison. Next will come cubing, and we'll start jarring the venison. So we'll keep going here. The next part of canning the venison is putting the meat into these scalded jars. I will pack in as much meat as possible into each of the jars, leaving that inch head space. There is no water added to this recipe because the venison will make its own water. The only thing I will add after I've packed these jars with the meat is a tablespoon of French onion soup. That gives it a nice flavoring. Canned venison is something I've been making for 20 or more years. You think longer than that? And it is one of our kids' favorites. It makes a lot of different types of meals, but one of the kids' favorites is just venison gravy over mashed potatoes. I will pour out the jar of venison into a pan. I will add, rinse out the jar with water, add some cornstarch and thicken it up and a little bit more bouillon, and it really makes a really nice meal. So again, we're going to process this next. I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to add the tablespoon of French onion soup mix, and then I will put on the jar lid that has been boiling to soften the rubber. And how about I get back with you here in 2 seconds. I've now put in the 7 quarts of venison. I have had the water inside the pressure canner starting to heat up. I will clean up a little bit, then I will add my pressure canner lid to it, putting on the 10-pound weight. I'm very cautious when pressure canning, because once you put that lid on, you're putting that pressure on there, and we want to be certainly super safe about everything we do. All right, I've now put the lid on. It's a seal. You put it together and it clicks. And then I will be adding my 10-pound weight. So there's always the recommendation to get your pressure canner checked regularly. So I use this weight. Now, my recipe calls for 90 minutes in the pressure canner, but that 90 minutes does not start until the weight starts jiggling. So I'll give you a little video on that when I get that up and going. So this is what a jiggling pressure canner, when you use a weighted lid, sounds like. 90 minutes like this. And this is what you get after 90 minutes in the pressure canner. You'll see that it's still bubbling. So the 90 minutes of the pressure canner was over, and then you have to let the pressure canner decompress. You don't open it right away. You let all of that decompress, and then, I probably let it go about 30 minutes, and then finally opened it. And there's 7 quarts of venison, and you can see how much juice that venison made all on its own.